My name is Heather Alderman. I am the Executive Director of COSMA, and I'm here today with Dr. Heath Hooper at Shorter University. And he will be telling his personal story about how he became an administrator. So Heath, go ahead.
Hey, Heather, thanks for this. This is a great opportunity, and I really appreciate it. Once again, my name is Dr. Heath Hooper. I am the Dean of the College of Business at Shorter University. We are located in Rome, Georgia, about an hour north of Atlanta. We are a NCAA Division II athletic member, small private Christian university. We have enrollment of about 1,600 total students.
So Heath, how did you get into your current position?
Yeah, so probably unorthodox. So I came into higher education from coaching. And so I coached college basketball for a couple of years and realized I was not interested in working 80 hours a week and making a very minimal salary. And so I completed a master's degree. And with the master's degree, I was able to become a professor. And so got my foot in the door by teaching sport management as an assistant professor. And then I took a year to figure out if I enjoyed teaching at level. And so I did. And so I started a doctorate degree. So in that point in time, I started the doctorate teaching 4 classes on ground each semester, online in the summer. Realized I did enjoy this. I had an aspiration for sport management in general. And then set goals to become a chair one day and a dean, after that at a particular time. So after my 4th year of teaching, I was in the dissertation phase, and the sport management chair that was ahead of me, that was my boss, he took a different position. And so this was in March that he took a different position. And so I immediately knew that was my next step, to become a chair. I wanted to chair my own sport management program. And so I created a kind of a strategic plan, 1 year, 5-year layout of how I felt like our program could grow in that sense, and how we could involve the community, gain internship opportunities, just a variety of ways. And so I went into my provost's office at the time and just presented this to him and told him I was very interested in the position. I felt like I was familiar with the program and that I could grow the community aspect and we could attain COSMA accreditation. So that was, a goal of mine as well at that point in time. And so I was awarded the chair position. And so that was April. And so that summer, fall, I was the chair. And then the spring after I was a chair, so now in the first year as being a full-time chair of sport management, the dean of the College of Business took another position. And so I knew that was my next goal at the time. I didn't realize it was going to come that quickly.
Yeah.
And so I've always been a person to take advantage of opportunities that are put in front of you. I don't want to regret not going for something, even though I may not be the best qualified. At the time, I knew that was my goal and I knew what I wanted to accomplish. So I kind of took the same track as I did for trying to become the chair. I created a vision for the College of Business, now in a sense of encompassing our master's programs and the opportunities that were there, online learning. At the time, we housed our College of Adult Professional programs as well. And so I just kind of took my sport management goals and just broadened those out into a College of Business aspect of how we could grow our whole enrollment in that aspect and opportunities. And so once again, went to the provost's office, did the same thing, met with the president this time, since it was a higher administrative role on the college office. I was essentially awarded the interim dean until I finished my doctorate. So I had 4 months left to defend my dissertation. And so I became the interim dean. And then once I successfully defended, in August, I became the dean of the College of Business. And so now I'm in my 5th year as the dean of the College of Business, my 10th year in higher education.
Wow. So you described that maybe you weren't necessarily qualified yet to do the position. So can you talk about any other training or mentorship or any assistance that you felt that you needed, or areas maybe that you needed some assistance with as you were in the position, but maybe needed some help, acquiring all of the skills that you might need to be a dean?
Yeah, absolutely. So going from a chair to dean is a lot different. When you're chair of a one specific program, you get to put all your focus into that. And you don't really have to worry about the other aspects. So whether you're in kinesiology or business or education, you don't have to worry about those specifics. But moving into where now you're over 7 undergraduate programs, 5 different master's programs, leading 20 full-time faculty, there's a lot of expectations that are there.
Yeah.
And so I needed to surround myself with people that knew those subject areas primarily and that understood that departmental chair aspect as well. So I would say, in reference to your question, it's all about who you surround yourself with. It's all about who you you establish a trust with and a confidence. I moved into the dean's role when I was 29, and I was over faculty at that point that were far more advanced, had been in higher education for as long as I've lived, honestly. And so there was a a conception there of who's this maybe young person coming in and now I've got to report to. Yeah. And so it was really important to establish a trust and a confidence and a team building experience to begin with. But I had to surround myself with people that I trusted. There was some hard decisions that I had to make to begin with, coming to that role. But it was all about a lot of intrinsic motivation as well. It comes down to me whether or not I wanted to take the position, and go forth with that. And so the intrinsic motivation was there for me personally, but I had to get people to buy in into my thoughts and vision as well for that.
It sounds like you're describing a challenge that you faced, not only getting the right people around you, but getting them to buy in. Are there any other challenges you'd like to talk about that could be something that, let's say if you were trying to get a junior faculty person to think about their future or how they might be an administrator, what they might face? Yeah.
So I think, the challenge is being open to the opportunity. We all love our comfort zone. We like being, complacent at times. And, a lot of people don't like change. And so I think it's important for individuals to look down the road, not just now where you're at currently, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You always want to be thinking about what lies ahead for you professionally and personally. Mm-hmm. And I'm big on a work-life balance as well. I'm big on, family. I'm big on having that opportunity to step away from work and be with them. That was one of the main reasons I got out of coaching. But moving into the dean's role, there's more, weight that's held on you. There's more expectations. There's more things you have to worry about and handle. And, there's things that come up every day that I'm like, why in the world am I a dean? Why did I choose this position? But you deal with things that a lot of people don't see. You deal with a lot of behind the scenes items that come, but as far as a junior faculty member and the challenge, I think it's just being open to that opportunity. It's trusting whoever your department chair is and the dean is at the time. If you're thinking about moving into an administrative role, you need to just lean heavily on those that are around you in that role. Yeah. Get to know, like, this personal story. This is a great example of people just understanding how you can get to these different aspects and get to these different levels of administration. So with me, I relied on the chair. I relied on my direct report to begin with. He guided and directed me. I didn't even know if I wanted to be in higher ed. And so you just just learn year by year, and you can always change your goals and vision. That's going to change yearly, but I think it's important to, keep a grasp on that and continue to progress. Touching back on going from a single department to a college of business or a college of education, you've got to understand the overall aspect of each program. And that's something that I really had to self-teach myself. When I first became dean, the College of Adult Professional Programs was a large portion of our College of Business. This was a program for adult learners, and it was on 5 different campuses throughout Atlanta and Northwest Georgia. Yeah. And I came in at a time where that program was going from face-to-face, dwindling down into now students are doing online programs. And so I had to make decisions at that point of, closing campuses and moving students into an online program, degree plans, making sure they finished the degree plan they were on before transitioning to another one. Yeah. That was one of the bigger challenges. So it's important. Like when I became dean, I had 3 department chairs within the College of Business. So those other 2 department chairs that were over business administration and business management, I relied on them to know what they were doing with those programs. And I just trusted that, they would handle that accordingly. So that's some of the challenges, somebody may face an administrative role. But, it's day by day. It's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yes.
You put your own niche on a lot of things. And so the opportunities that are there is very innovative, visionary. There's how can we separate ourselves from our competition? And so I love having that openness just to create new ideas, to be able to create that team atmosphere for your faculty and your department chairs, and being able to progress and, really grow what you envision. And, when I was first applying to be a dean and had that 10-year goal and 5-year goal, it's fun to reflect and see how those things have come to fruition.
Yeah.
And then within sport management, COSMA is a great accreditation. COSMA, and I'm not speaking this because I'm talking to you, Heather, but that was our when I first became department chair, my goal was to be COSMA accredited.
Right.
And so then moving into a dean's role over the College of Business, do I now go for a COSMA single program accreditation, or do I go for like an ACBSP or a double ACBSP accreditation?
Yes.
And I looked at what was our strongest program, and sport management was our largest enrollment program and our strongest program with accolades. And, I made the decision there to go with COSMA.
Yeah. As a dean at a Christian university, do you feel like there are different challenges that you face than other schools that don't have that same mission?
You know what? I think that I have fewer challenges than university. I don't deal with a lot of legislation. I don't deal with a lot of state funding, state expectations, faculty senate, a lot of pushback from here and there. Being on our administrative call that we do monthly, I hear, for example, with Jen down at North Florida, some of the things that she has to deal with on an administrative level, I don't ever have to deal with. And it's nice on that level. Now we have our own challenges. We have our challenges such as funding, enrollment, extra expenses to be able to go to conferences everywhere. We have to be more, frugal with use our funds. But it's a very relaxed, more, I would say, family type atmosphere in that sense. And a lot of one conversations with students, a lot of mentorships. On a dean's level, it's a lot more collaboration with other deans, and how can we, better the university as a whole rather than what we just do as a College of Business.
Right. So how do you, what advice or words of wisdom would you give to any junior faculty or doctoral students that you may meet or that you already know about how they might, similar to you, approach that trajectory to get into an administrative position?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's creating a whole body of work. I think that it includes a little bit of teaching, a little bit of research, a little bit of handling responsibilities when given the opportunity. Even as a junior faculty member, you may be poised with creating a strategic plan for how we do this event in the community. How do we run the championship baseball series at the park?
Yeah.
Take that responsibility on, because it's going to help you improve for the next opportunity. Research is also, critical. Even though I'm at a 100% teaching institution, research required for me with promotion and tenure. It's important for me to stay current in the sport management landscape, and to also, publish some articles here, go to a couple of presentations at conferences, because there will be an opportunity where that person may get to where they apply for a position at a larger institution. And if they don't have that whole body of work and whole body of knowledge, they'll be passed up on. I think it's also important to have a good teaching, regimen, with evaluations, having that rapport with the student. But leaning on those around you that are in current positions is so important. You got hired for a reason as a junior faculty member, if you're a junior faculty, because they trusted in you. Your department chair saw something in you that could help out the program, but also help the students, that lean on that person and find out why they hired you for that reason and how they see you growing in the field of sport management.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities out there for administrative positions. Sport management continues to grow at a high pace. There's going to be turnover there. I think the best thing to do is just prepare yourself for an opportunity that may come about. And then when it does, just be ready to capitalize on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot, big time. So you have your 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan. What's in the works for the next 5 to 10 years for Heath Hooper, which you don't have to answer?
So this is my 5th year as a dean, and I've enjoyed being a dean. It's been great. I don't see going away from the dean anytime soon unless another opportunity was to arise. I have looked at administrative positions at the provost level, taking it up another notch. I do see myself more so at a smaller private university just because I like the aspect of the one-on-one time with the students and the collegial aspect of faculty and staff. But, we'll see where it goes. If you were to ask me this, 10 years ago, I would have told you I would have never been a college professor. So
yeah, right. Yeah, you can't really foresee the future with no crystal ball. Yeah.
But I would love to be a president of a university down the road.
Yeah.
I really would. I would love that opportunity to create a vision and a community impact and resource impact and student impact.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it also sounds like you have a lot of self-awareness. What you're good at, what your strengths are, and you're combining that with this, like you said, this intrinsic drive to seek that. So I think that sounds like some good advice for almost anybody.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time to be in higher ed, and I think we'll continue to grow and develop. I love how we work together as administrators. I think it's good to have support systems for one another, and that's as faculty as well. Sorry, somebody cell phone. It's good for junior faculty to support one another as well. I mean, it's good to build those connections and the networking opportunities. So I think anytime you're at conferences, get to know as many people as you can, because you never know when one of your colleagues are, equal partners at another university is going to move into that administrative role.
Right. Right. Well, do you have any other comments you want to make or any topics that you want to touch on that I didn't ask you about?
I would say one of the other probably challenges that one may face in moving into a dean's role or a larger role there, associate dean's role, is not letting sport management be your baby anymore. I've had to learn to put resources towards or give more focus towards management, business, marketing, where my heart is with sport management, and that's my expertise area. I think it's important to be able to, put that into other areas. Another thing is when you go from being a department chair of sport management to now dean, it's entrusting whoever that department chair to run the program the way you want it to be ran as well, and not overstepping that boundary. That was difficult for me when I first became dean, was still not running the sport management as a department chair now. You know what I mean? Like step away and trusting somebody else to put forth those goals and efforts. But that comes with time. It comes with experience and time and trust, and just hiring people are going to do the best job. But I think what you're doing, Heather, with the personal stories is great. I hope I was able to provide some good feedback and opportunity there for growth and learning with some individuals. But I'm definitely open to further discussion. If there is somebody that wants to reach out to me and has some specific questions, or if I can help anybody in any way, I'm happy to help.
That's great. I think anyone who can see that as a great offer and take advantage of it, I hope they do. Thank you so much, Heath. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.